Hi everyone, this is Paola going back into our little questions that we receive by clients, viewers. So today we're going to compare some famous, very famous, a queen included in the mix. How long or how do they manage to maintain the relationship for such a long term? How do they keep their excitement? How do they maintain that relationship? So we're gonna go ahead and go over what experts conclude, state on how relationships can be maintained for long term. Now in society nowadays, a lot of people do not want to work on the marriage. It's hard to be in a marriage, relationship, partnership, because now in age, we live our lives in a very fast paced. So let's see what we come up with. So let's talk about this article that I found online. It's by Kate Scalani. I apologize for mispronouncing her name. So in her article, she states 8 experts on to keep romance alive in long-term relationships. So one of the things that they mention is keep dating. The importance of dating, having communication, having that intimate space with that person. Another thing that they also come up with is that the biggest mistake long-term couples make is that they stop planning dates. So we get in routines, we have children, we have jobs. Unfortunately, now with COVID, there's a lot of things, a lot of changes that partners have encountered, not only because some people have to work with their partners at home because of restrictions at work. You are unable to go into the office and be able to have another type of communication, interaction with other human beings. So when you are actually at home and you're with your partner the whole entire day, it makes it difficult for you to get out of that comfort zone, out of that routine that, well, we're home, we see each other, there's nothing for us to do. Unfortunately, that can cause or lead to divorce because it's boring. You no longer have the excitement that you are going to meet with your spouse, your partner after work, or you don't have something to talk about because you have no news stories at what happened at work. So another thing that we tend to go sour is sex. Sex is important in some relationship, not in others. They also say it's you plan your life, you schedule appointments, you schedule anything that has to do with your daily life. You can also schedule sex. So why is this important? Because you want to be able to anticipate that you are going to have that emotion, that connection with your partner. So sex is very important, whether you schedule sex, whether you have it throughout the day, but just make sure that it's there and you spark that flame. Another thing that we found out is engage in foreplay. According to Michelle Rose and Liz Garth, sorry about that. How do we keep passion alive in a long-term relationship? That's an article that they wrote about. Another thing is don't compare yourself to other relationships. Unfortunately, we have social media. We want to compare ourselves. We look at their life. We only see the outside picture, but we don't see what's going on at home. Another thing that I always say, if you're a size 6 in shoe, why would you want to go looking for a size 7? If that shoe doesn't fit, it's gonna fall off, you're gonna fall down, you're gonna make mistakes. So do not put on the wrong size shoe. Live life as your own, plan your life as your own. Do not compare yourself to others. Not least, not final, but we can also look into another one. For example, how to keep the spark alive in a long-term relationship. And this is by Katim Tied Jin. And one of the things that I found that I've seen it happen in many relationships is money. Money can be a deal breaker, according to this article as well. Long-term relationships can work out because you have to be honest. You have to be upfront with that person that you want to move in, you want to get married, or you're planning a future. Is that you always have to make sure you understand where you are financially. What are your goals for your finances? Any debt, be honest about it, because it could be a turnoff, it can be a deal breaker. Those are things that unfortunately as humans we are embarrassed, we want to hide that from that person. But remember, it's like a box, Pandora box. You start opening it and things start coming up, and that also affects your relationship with that person. We always want to make sure that we have that intimate space with your partner. Communication, that relationship with that person is very important. Having the time to give that person. So it's like a plant. You have to water it. You have to take care of it. You have to take it out in the sun. Be warm, be fussy, love your plant, talk to your plant, because they also feel your emotions. Having that connection. So let's leave this conversation with some questions for my audience. How will you spark your sex life? What are you willing to do to make that relationship work if you lack in sex? Communication. Check in with your partner. Ask them, how's it going? How are you doing? Did you like what we did last Friday? I enjoy what I did with you the other day. And the reason why I liked it, because this is what it made me feel. Communicate with that person. They're not mind readers. They're not going to be able to guess what you're looking for. And how willing or how will you be able to work on this relationship? That's one thing. We have to look within ourselves, look at our status, pretty much. Know where we are emotionally, mentally, and understand that in order for you to provide the best of you to that person, or if you're expecting the best of that person, then you also have to look within yourself and have the same expectations as the other person has for yourself. Be open-minded. Be open to feedback. Do not take it as if they're attacking you. Take it more as constructive criticism. So this will be the ending of our video for today. If you have questions, you want to go ahead and ask anything, or you have a comment, maybe you did a research, maybe you have another article, maybe you have a book that you read that it will be good for a next topic, that we can have another conversation about long-term relationships and how do you make them work. How does your sex life can be better, especially when you've been with that person for a very long time. Thank you guys, and you have a good day.